You're watching the Isaiah Factor Uncensored.
All right, and welcome back to the Factor Uncensored, week 2 of the expanded 1-hour show. So if you were taking a vacation or something last week and missed us, you can get an entire hour of the Factor Uncensored. Thank you guys for your support. That's more stories and more news that matters to you. That includes the fight against prostitution and sex trafficking. One of the nation's most notorious areas for this is right here in Houston along Bissonnet. We talked to the leaders working to address this, including the ways pimps and johns will now be held responsible, and hear from a trafficking survivor on how efforts like these can save lives. And our guests are here on the Factor Uncensored to talk about prostitution or soliciting prostitution going to a felony. Councilman Pollard, tell us a little bit about that and why that's important here in Texas, and it's statewide.
Well, it's important because we need to have a deterrent to deter the crime, especially on the Bissonnet corridor. That's been a place that has been long plagued by prostitution and human trafficking. And so the fact that we are increasing the penalty from a misdemeanor to a felony should go a long ways in deterring that criminal act on that street.
Commissioner Ramsey, a lot of people are not even aware that they're not dealing with a misdemeanor anymore. They could be hit with a felony, which is life-changing, life-altering for those who get it, right?
Exactly, Isaiah. This is why that Councilmember Pollard and I got together. If you notice the signs we put up today on Bissonnet that do make people aware as of September 1st, this will be a felony for those people that choose to go out there and do some illegal things. There's going to be a higher price to pay.
Dr. Nisi Hamilton, you are a survivor of human trafficking. How important is a piece of legislation, a law rather now, like this here in the state of Texas?
It is so important to the safety of survivors. I tell people all the time, we don't get certain things like, name changes, address, dislocation to people. We're so accessible to traffickers, if not more traffickers, and people who may have it out for us because we want to tell our stories and we want to become a part of, our communities and things like that. So with this being done, along with Senate Bill 315 and then Senate Bill 766, which doesn't allow 18, 19, and 21-year-olds to work in sexually oriented businesses effective, since the governor just signed it. It's like, oh my God, this is amazing that our city is standing up to support us, that our commissioner is standing up to support us. And Councilman Pollard has done wonderful work in District J to stop this. So this is amazing for our safety. I'm very happy and we're all excited.
Councilman, we have heard for decades, for centuries, oh, this is a victimless crime. Lay it out for us that we don't leave behind. We do have victims left behind when we talk about prostitution because it has tentacles. It affects families and individuals.
Well, this is far from a victimless crime. Many of the women who are out on the street are there under pressure from pimps. They're suffering from mental illness, depression, anxiety, domestic violence. So you have to think about all of those issues as well. Then when you think about revitalizing an area such as Bissonnet, you can't bring families to the area. You cannot attract businesses. There are schools in the area where kids have to walk to and from, and they're seeing, women out on the street, barely clothed, and people stopping to solicit. That is nowhere to raise your family. That is nowhere to conduct your business. And so we want to make sure that we put together a holistic strategy that not only focuses on the johns and deterring the solicitation, but also focusing on the females and giving them the resources that they need to get out of that life.
Commissioner Ramsey, we've seen lulls on Bissonnet where things have really slowed down. HPD put on the pressure, but now things are back again. Tell us a little bit about your plan and what are you hoping to do and how will you make a difference on that street to get rid of the prostitution?
Well, step one is to make everybody aware, warn folks, alert folks that yes, we are dealing with a felony crime here. Second thing is be sure that our resources at HPD are working closely with our constables, the sheriff, and others. There's already people patrolling the area, but we want to be sure that we are leveraging all those resources to focus on bring not only just attention to it, but actually addressing the problem. We think it's obviously the people they call the Johns that we need to stay focused on. We've got many, many cameras located up and down Bissonnet between HPD, the county, and the Southwest Management District. And so we're going to maintain a lot of effort on this in terms of coordinating our resources. We're working with Pastor Terrence Johnson and the New Dimension Church. They're going to, obviously they're in the neighborhood. They're going to help us keep our eye on the ball in terms of making a difference, changing things on Bissonnet.
Now, there is a national human trafficking hotline where you can get help for someone you know or yourself. If you missed out, it's on your screen. That number is 1-888-373-7888. That phone line is staffed 24/7. You can also send a text, and it's free. One word, BEFREE rather. BEFREE is a word, all one word to 233-733.